Never in my life have I experienced something quite like the launch of my language learning app, Fluyo. It was wild. Some people praised us. Fluyo is stunning. It's so good. Better than Duolingo. Others were disappointed or upset. The app doesn't work. It's so buggy. It's trash. So, what actually happened? What went well? What did we get wrong? And what have we been doing over this last month to improve the app? Let's talk about it. First, what is Fluyo and why was it created? Several years back, I had the idea, what if you could learn a language through a video game? In theory, if you could learn the 3,000 most common words in a language quickly, master the key grammar points using those same exact words, and then practice both vocab and grammar in super fun battles, that would be incredible. And that's the core intent behind Fluyo. And while we currently have thousands of users who really love the app, and I encourage you to try it out yourself, it's live on both iOS and Android, at launch we also had plenty of people who felt like we did not execute on our vision, and honestly, I don't disagree with them. And the thing is, well, if you're going to charge money for a product, then you have to be willing to take the heat and genuinely listen to feedback, even when it is sharp and critical. It has been a tough month, and it took me some time to collect myself and gather my thoughts, but here we are. And here are the three main things that most people, honestly, myself included, feel went wrong at launch. Now, make no mistake, we are absolutely going to be improving on every one of these because you guys, the community, have spoken. Also, at the end of the video, I do have something kind of special that I think you guys have been waiting a long time for that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, so wait till then. Number one, bugs and poor performance. At launch, especially on Android, but also on iOS, Fluyo had a lot of bugs and performance issues. This is ultimately my mistake. A lot of game developers make this error, and I did too. I set a big date in my head, which was going to be January 1st, and I felt like it was perfect to launch then. It's perfect timing. It's going to be New Year's. People want to kick off their New Year's resolution. And what I should have done was said, no, we're not releasing until it's ready. Now, we did test the app quite rigorously over the last year and a half with alpha and beta. However, behind the scenes, it was kind of like, you know, when you have guests that are coming over and you make, or at least you try to make a bunch of last minute changes before they arrive, that's pretty much what ended up happening. We added new features, we polished things, we tried to get everything spick and span before the big launch day, and several of those new things we did not test properly, and it really hurt performance. Now, that is not to say that without these changes the app would have been perfect, but we definitely would not have had nearly the amount of issues. For example, we had this last minute background blur that we added because we wanted the app to be a bit sexy, and we didn't get to test it in time, and it literally nuked performance on Android. Ouch. Now, if I could have a do-over, I would definitely have given us a few more weeks to properly test and make those final changes, and really make sure that we were as stable as possible before launching. I maybe even would have marked the launch as an open beta, which a lot of people in Discord actually suggested, and I think is a brilliant idea, but I did not see their comments until after we already launched, which really sucks. And honestly, I totally get the frustration of, you know, having this app that you've been waiting for years and you're excited to try it, and then on launch day, it's not really working for you and there's a lot of bugs. And it didn't happen for everyone, but for those who experienced those bugs, that must have been a really crappy experience, and I apologize. ですから、ごめんなさい。私のミスだ。Yeah, my bad. So that said, what have we been up to? Now, our engineering team, which is honestly quite small compared to most other apps, they've been small, but they've been mighty. They've been hustling nonstop, sometimes 18-hour days to get these fixes in. We've had major Android performance improvements, updated our streak system, improved load times across iOS and Android, removed that damn background blur, and a lot more. We've already made a ton of progress. There still might be lingering issues for this month, depending on your device, but pretty soon, we're gonna have complete stability, which I am really looking forward to. We also brought in a QA person, Jamie, from our community to help test new updates before they go live. He actually volunteered. He was like, listen, I love Fluyo, but y'all need some QA help. And he was absolutely right. And he's doing an awesome job. Number two, language data. Right now, if you use Fluyo and you click on a language that isn't fully supported, we only have flashcards and some minigames. Now, if you click on a language that is fully supported, but not for your difficulty level, then you might see only word lessons in our journey and not any of our grammar audio lessons, which are literally the meat of our courses. Admittedly, people are like, yo, what is this? You spent years just to create flashcards? And I totally get where they're coming from. But for people learning a language that we do fully support at a difficulty level we actually have robust content for, basically beginner, a lot of those people love the app, which explains why there's such a big gap in reviews. So then the question becomes, if my experience right now is not the greatest because you don't have support, the proper support that I need, when can I expect full support for my language and level? This honestly is our biggest issue. And while it takes time, of course, and a lot of trial and error, trust me, I know, to create quality courses, we have to do better. So here's exactly how we plan to solve this issue. 1, our co-CEO is working with our course creators on a custom course creation tool, that's a tongue twister, that will massively expand our course library, both in quantity and quality in a short amount of time. By April, we're hoping to cover all difficulties for our 5 core languages, and maybe even add full courses for our light support languages like Portuguese, Italian, and Dutch. These new courses are a complete revamp. It's some good stuff. I don't think anyone has ever created anything like this before because it technically wasn't possible. So I'm super excited. Yeah, so that's the first thing. 2, until these changes are rolled out, we're going to be graying out access for new users to any parts of the app that aren't fully supported, so they don't get the wrong impression. They can still choose a different difficulty in their language settings to unlock that content, but it won't be part of the default onboarding. So no one clicks on this and like, where's the content? 3, we're adding full beginner support for French this week, and next week we're rolling out the second part of our Korean beginner course, as well as Hangul lessons. And 4th, we brought on Aggie, who is an incredible woman and our new head of languages. She used to manage language data for over 100 languages at Drops. One time, she even flew across northern Japan to help preserve the endangered Ainu language. She is amazing. We're so happy to have her, and she is going to be helping us massively expand our content and eliminate those pesky language data errors like, answers being accepted when they shouldn't be, or vice versa. Number 3, UX and product shortfalls. We also fell short on UX, which stands for user experience, and in certain areas our product itself. So at launch, some of our UX issues were pretty bad, like account creation issues, no option to skip the tutorial, or the first creature being too difficult. Some people even said Fluyo Dark Souls, which is not what we're trying to do. Now, most of these major UX issues have already been fixed, and we're going to continue to refine them. But UX isn't just the obvious stuff. It is the 100 little things you don't notice when they're done well, but you definitely notice when they're not. Now, we easily have 100 to 200 small changes and tweaks that we need to make if we really want the app to feel amazing. Now, personally, I already have a very long list based on my own personal observations, but also some of the feedback that we've been getting from you guys. It bothers me, and we're gonna fix it. I literally have had dreams about fixing UX. I think I've had 4, maybe 5 dreams. Help me. To address this, we're going to hire a UX/product engineer who will work hand in hand with me to speedrun these fixes and help Fluyo truly shine. And also help me sleep at night. It's a special role, mainly equity-based initially, a generous equity offer, and we're really looking for someone entrepreneurial, kind of an indie hacker type of person. So if you're interested and you think you're this person, there is a link in the description. Please apply. Honestly, it's going to be one of the coolest roles at Fluyo. But besides UX, there are also product shortfalls. Our minigames could definitely be more fun. Matching up with people online could be quicker and easier. We're missing story and lore elements in the world, and we've just generally got stuff to improve. There's no question there. But going forward, I don't want to fix these things in a vacuum. I really want to build in public. We started that way, but we shifted away from it when I got sick. And had I never got sick, there would literally be like 500 build Fluyo with me videos on the channel. Because ultimately, I do know that 100,000 heads is better than 15. So we really want and need your feedback when it comes to future big product revamps. For example, let's build a better version of our Fluyo battles together. If you've used Fluyo, you might like our battles, but also find them a bit confusing or slow. We have this boost or / guard system to add strategy, but it's not intuitive for non-gamers, and it becomes repetitive once you do understand it. And currently, the battles, they don't really get your heart pumping. So here's an idea. What if we switch to a permanent attack mode where you have to beat the creature before it beats you? Now, we had something like this before, but we couldn't quite get the difficulty right. The key difference is now users could choose the difficulty of the creature that they're about to face. The higher the difficulty, the better the rewards and the more stars you earn. On easy mode, the creature attacks maybe every 20 seconds. You have time to think, and if you get the answer wrong, well, it's not too bad. But on hard mode, on the other hand, it's going to be really for people who want a challenge. The enemy might attack every 6 or 7 seconds. It's super fast paced. You can't really think much, and it really hurts if you get something wrong. Maybe you get a special attack move based off of an item that your dolphin has equipped that charges up and you can use occasionally. Hell, maybe even creatures could have their own special move. Okay, pause. So while I was editing this video, I realized it's a little hard to picture what I'm describing. So I actually delayed releasing this video and spent the last 7 days teaching myself how to code with O1, just so I could build a prototype of what I have in my head and show you guys instead of just explaining it. Now you can actually play a prototype of this new version of Fluyo Battles by going to fluyobattle.tiny.site. The link is also in the description, and you can select your language, your level, and play. It's best though if you play on desktop or laptop instead of your phone. After playing a few rounds, there is a button that will take you to a survey, and I would love to hear your feedback on whether you think this approach is more fun than what we currently have in the app. So please share your thoughts via the survey. It would really help. Those were the 3 main issues at launch. Pretty beefy, but all fixable with the right people and enough hard work. Now on to what went right. Why did, despite these issues, we still get a lot of 4 and 5-star reviews? 1. Design and music. Most people across the board loved the app's design and especially its music. This is huge because language learning apps typically aren't super interesting to look at. So the fact that people enjoy our aesthetic and our world is a big deal, because the core of the app, what we teach and how we teach it, it is relatively easy to change now that we have the infrastructure and the visuals built. But creating a beautiful look and soundscape takes a lot of time and money to get right. So yeah, I mean, watching the community post screenshots of their fully decked out dolphins was awesome, and it really reminded me of my World of Warcraft days. Not to sound too much like a nerd, but but yeah. And here's my dolphin Hyung, by the way. He's pretty drippy, if I do say so myself. Number 2, people are actually learning. One of the coolest things ever is seeing people legitimately learn a new language with Fluyo. I've seen a lot of praise for our audio lessons, how we break down grammar, and I've been watching videos of learners making real progress.
Doesn't that last character look a little too vertical to be
Oh, got it. It's too vertical to be got it. So it's gonna be because it's looking to the right. Got it.
That's it.
Now that should not be overshadowed by the app's rough edges. People are genuinely learning, and it warms my heart. And it's also a little bit strange for me because I've always been the language learning dude, and now I'm shifting to kind of being the language teaching dude, which is it's like a promotion. I don't know. Even myself, I've been secretly learning a language, which I'll reveal soon, next month, almost exclusively with Fluyo and Netflix, just those 2, and I've really been enjoying the experience so far. If you tried to get me to use another app, I wouldn't let you. But yeah, I mean, Obviously, our audio lessons, we can make them a little bit less long-winded, more engaging, and add more exercise, I can never say this word, exercise variations. But the bottom line is that people are learning, and that is amazing. Number 3, ambitious features. Another thing people have praised us on is our feature set. We've got a Discord-like social feature, pods, where people are making friends and practicing their languages. We have mini games, battles, grammar lessons, vocab lessons. And from what I'm seeing, people appreciate how ambitious Fluyo is and see our vision to be an all-in-one place for language learning. Of course, it can't just be about having a lot of features. They all need to be stellar. But it's cool to see people recognizing what we are attempting to build. And app development always takes twice as long and costs twice as much as you'd think. Even some people criticize the fact that to date that we've spent $2 million building the app, although it's out of a total of $3 million that we've raised, but $2 million directly from our bank account. Maybe I should have clarified that a little bit better. But the reality is that most major language learning apps raised several times more and developed fewer features. Hell, even for the first 3 years, we basically spread one well-paid US engineer salary across 9 people. We were and are extremely cost efficient. So I just wanted to clarify that. We're not burning money, like we're like penny pinching like crazy. And yes, if I hadn't got sick, maybe it would have released in 3 years instead of 5, and we would have spent less. But life sometimes is the obstacles that you face, and I can't change what happened to me, even though I wish I could, because this is... So to recap, some things went really well, and some things didn't, and we are going to fix what didn't. Not just that, we're going to be building in public and bringing you along for the process. But yeah, overall, the most common comment, honestly, from my last video was, the app is not 100% there yet, there's some issues, but it has a lot of potential. And honestly, I agree. In the words of my fiance, who's a singer, who expressed this to me, she said that you guys are honestly so lucky that you're making an app. Because when I release a song, that's it. It's done. I can't change it. But you guys can make 1,000 changes until you have the perfect creation. And that is exactly what we're going to do. I feel more confident than ever about the future of Fluyo because we put it into your hands. We got to see firsthand what works, what doesn't, and what people already love. And now it's just about rapidly improving everything, especially the things that you guys want us to. Personally, I am most excited about our full course revamp, making the battles much more fun, and improving UX and stability, because if we can do so over the next few months, Fluyo will be in a phenomenal place. And if you want to help us on our journey there are a few things you guys can do to help. 1. Use the app and leave feedback. If you haven't already, download Fluyo. The link is in the description. And if you're already using it, keep testing it and give us feedback. Let me know what you think. 2. Leave a review. If you are loving the app and you haven't left a review yet on the App Store or Google Play Store, please do. It really helps. Also, if you left a review before but you were disappointed because something wasn't working and now it's been fixed, updating your review would really make a huge difference. 3. Support Fluyo's WeFunder campaign. So our WeFunder campaign is officially closing. This is your last chance, potentially ever, to own equity or shares in Fluyo while we're still small. So if you believe in Fluyo and think that one day we can rival Duolingo as an app and as a business, now is your opportunity to invest. I absolutely believe that we will, and some people already like Fluyo better than Duo, even in our nascent stage, which is saying a lot. That said, the WeFunder link is in the description, or you can go to wefunder.com/Fluyo. If you've already invested, please listen up. Please check your email for a message titled Confirm Your Fluyo Investment. This is super important. If you do not confirm it, your investment will not go through. And if Fluyo becomes very successful in the future, you're going to be mad that your investment didn't go through. So please double check. 4. Please stay tuned and keep a close eye on my channel because starting next video, I'm officially switching back into full-time language learning content. I'll still, of course, do occasional Fluyo updates, but after years of mainly health and Fluyo related videos, I'm finally returning to my roots. And I am super excited, and I won't be alone. My new co-host, starts next week, and I can't wait for you guys to see what we have planned. But yeah, thank you all for your support. I will do whatever it takes to make Fluyo the best language app in the world, even if that means facing harsh feedback. I will do it all day. I'm in this for the long haul. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for the support. The journey is just beginning. ありがとうございます